Wait, keep them online so you can see. Okay, so we're back on. So we are checking to see if our stream is less choppy now that we are back on. What do you think?
So just a little bit, still choppy.
Still choppy? Okay, so what I did, so sorry about this, friends. Apparently our stream is choppy today. Not really sure why, because I made sure to close out my windows and all those good things. But what we did in our first part of the stream is we put together the spice mixture. I peeled half of the shrimp, and now I've just tossed the shrimp with the spice mixture. And we're gonna set that aside while we make the salad, because that'll help impart that flavor into the delightful shrimp we got. So I'm gonna set that aside, and we are going to prepare a salad. So the salad today is going to be one of my favorites, which is a watermelon, blueberry, feta, salad. So just light, yummy. I was trying to think of something that would be good. Since this is a spicy meal, I thought the watermelon, blueberry, like a sweeter salad, might be a nice counterpart, since I've got spicy shrimp. So, how are we looking? Not good, still choppy.
Still choppy.
Wonder if it's the heat.
I don't know. Just continue going.
Okay. I'm just trying to think if there is anything else we could do, because we could always.
He said there's not.
Okay. So apparently we're not. So my apologies, and it's a shame because this is like a really good recipe. But I am sorry that it is choppy today. So I don't know if it's the heat or what. But in any event, I'm going to be putting the salad together right now. So for our salad, we are going to get some different lettuces. What are you looking at, my dear?
Encoding overloaded, considered. Turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset.
Interesting. Did you tell him that that was the message?
He told me.
Oh, he told, okay. Our tech guy helped us with that. That's so interesting.
That one maybe?
No, because this is not connected to that. That's why I opened that up, because it's something totally separate.
Huh.
Right, okay. So in any event, for the salad, what I'm going to be doing is and really the lettuce part can be whatever you prefer. If you prefer it to be, frankly, if you prefer it to be iceberg, you can do that, romaine. We are going to do a little bit of a spring mix, and how I'm preparing the salad, I'm going to put the salad actually individually on plates. You do not have to do it this way. You could, put it together for certain on in a bowl. It's really up to you. So I'm just going to put some lettuce here because we'll get our vitamins. I'm going to put the lid on that.
Okay.
And I'm going to put a little bit of spinach here. Like that. Okay. All right. Okay, so we got a little spinach, a little lettuces. I am going to make our dressing. Our dressing is going to be super simple. In fact, let me go get my citrus squeezer. And it's actually one that I had made the other day when we did our stream for, what was the place, the Caribbean soul food place? Cray Taste. And they had forgotten to include our salad dressing, so I actually made this salad dressing to go on that jerk shrimp salad. So, and it was really good, so I'm like, that would be great for this. So I'm just making a lime, honey, olive oil salad dressing. So I'm going to take this. I see our girl. So you might see a lot of our dearest doggy girl, because she's hungry and she's wondering why we're fixing our dinner and not her dinner. So she's stalking us right now. So if you see her, she's going right by there. Yep.
She's following me around.
She's not a happy camper. When it gets by the witching hour and the older she's gotten, the more fussy she gets with this.
She's like a retired person. They eat earlier and earlier.
That's right. That's exactly. Okay, so I'm just going to squeeze. I'm eyeballing this because it's 2. I'm squeezing probably I would save about, because again, I just want a light little dressing with this. I probably have about like I don't know, maybe a teaspoon and a half of lime juice there. Now we got some yummy Asheville honey from this honey place. And this one was called Bee Charmer Sourwood Honey from Asheville. Pure, raw, and delicious. So we're gonna put a little of that in to help sweeten. I'm just gonna use my little thing.
They actually
here.
had a honey tasting bar.
Yes.
So you can just go up and taste all kinds of different kinds.
Oh, that's good. I love that there. So I'm just gonna mix that with the honey a little bit. I'm also gonna be putting a little bit of salt and pepper in there. Again, I just want like a really light vinaigrette. By the way, this is not on the recipe below. The salad, this is just something that sounded good I wanted to whip together. The recipe below has it for the shrimp. And then I'm gonna add some olive oil. And I'm just in my cup here, I'm just gonna whisk that in to kind of get it together. So it looks about right and tastes about right. And I can always add more lime juice if it doesn't have enough bite. Let me see how that tastes. Oh, I think that's good. I might need a little bit more lime. Yep, I want a little more lime. I do like a little bite in my dressing. How about you? Do you like a little bite or less bite? How are you with that?
You mean from a lime perspective?
No, so dressings, the bite is always the vinegar or the lime or lemon. So
yeah, I would say I would like a little bit more bite.
Okay, so I have that all set. So now all I'm going to do for my salad is I'm going to just put this over here, please. Thank you. And I'm going to move this.
Okay.
Thank you. There's light here. We don't want to throw that away because it hasn't been squeezed out. Yep. So I'm going to cut up some of the watermelon because we're going to have some watermelon in there. And we just cut this. We got this watermelon also from Riverwards, right? Hun?
That is correct.
That's correct. So we're going to get some of this cut into some cubes. And it's seedless, which is nice. I think that'll do it. So I'm going to put these here to snack on later. There's nothing better in the summer than some good watermelon. And while this watermelon doesn't look super red, it's actually quite sweet. We were really pleased with it. So I'm just going to put some of this watermelon here on the salad so we get our fruits and our veggies and the protein from the shrimp. Got it all going on, so I have definitely extra. But you can load up as much as you want. And then we're going to add some blueberries. These are Jersey blueberries that we got from the market also. Gorgeous, cleaned. I rinsed them already. Whoopsie. Whoops. Girls making sure I got my blueberries. Oh, and then so we have watermelon, blueberries, the lettuce. I do want to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna put the feta. The feta will make such a great salty bite. And then I'll drizzle the dressing. Oh, and I can't forget, almost forgot the herbs. So let me see here, let me get a spoon. So we've got our feta. Go. Got our feta.
It's a good looking salad.
I know. And then we have some mint. And we have some basil.
You can smell the basil.
Yeah. And if you didn't have both of those, that would be totally fine. But what's nice, and put that rest there. But what's nice is it just gives it that herby quality, which is awesome. And then I'm just gonna pour some of our, actually I'm gonna use that spoon. Just to get our dressing drizzled on, and then we'll have these all ready for when it's time to eat. There we go. Okay. And look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful fresh summer salad. I'm gonna put this over here. Try it a minute. And then, so now what we're gonna do, since we have finished the salads are all ready. Actually, I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm going to, before I get this any messier, I'm gonna get my, my bread cut so that we have that ready. Would you mind getting me a white plate, sweetie?
A large plate?
Nope, a little one. So the baguette that we have here was actually, my niece thought of us, and it's from a local bakery named Oui here in the city. That's a French bakery. So I'm just going to cut this into some slices so that we can make sure and sop up all of the yummy broth that we're about to make. Now I'm not going to cut my finger off. I'll leave that one. You always like the ends. Andy's fan the ends. Who else likes ends?
I don't know why. That's just the weirdest
Will
thing.
you put that over with the salads?
Yep.
Thank you.
No,
I think some people, it's a
crusty-
texture thing probably,
crusty
right?
thing.
Don't you think?
I guess. I don't
I
know.
think it's the texture. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and we are gonna tend to get our shrimp all ready. So we combined everything, and our shrimp have been sitting here getting yummy. And we're gonna heat the skillet. I'm gonna add the oil and the shrimp, and then I'm gonna add some other ingredients. In fact, I realized I made way too much broth. So I'm gonna get out a little thing here to help me with my measurements. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the shrimp and the oil started on there, okay? And
So do you like oil with your bread, or do you like butter with your bread?
I like both, but I probably said if someone only told me I could have it one way, I would probably prefer the oil.
And with oil, spices, and garlic, and
Yep.
so forth?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this now. There we go. So you can see what we're going to be doing on there. So as I was mentioning, in a minute, once the pan heats up, I'm going to be adding the oil and the shrimp, and then I'm going to also, what I do, so the recipe calls for you add everything at once. I like to get my shrimp a little bit browned first, just for like a minute or two, and then I add the broth, the Worcestershire, and the pepper sauce and garlic. Oh, so by the way, I'm gonna get my garlic chopped right now, speaking of which.
Shrimp cook really fast,
They cook
correct?
very fast. Yeah. Oh, there's a blueberry under there. Would you mind grabbing that, babe?
Run away.
There was a runaway. So I'm gonna get my garlic chopped right now so it's ready to go. And one thing I realized I didn't have, and we were just at the market, we could have gotten it, was green onions. I like to have green onions around. I think they're so easy to add to things, and that's something you finish off with this recipe. So since I don't have the green onions, I just got some shallots, and so I'm just gonna, but instead of finishing off, because in this recipe you add the green onions at the end, the shallots that would not be a good idea with the shallots, because they wouldn't get enough of their bite, tempered. So I'm gonna add that actually when I add the garlic. So I'm gonna get the garlic chopped. Whoop. And I'm gonna get a little bit of my shallot. I'm so bummed about the what do you call it? The choppiness. Goodness.
Yeah.
We know that can happen, and so we have kind of some fixes for it, and I'm just bummed that being said, it still was a problem.
Yeah, I know.
But what are you gonna do? Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. So again, I apologize if you're watching. I apologize for the choppiness. This is really a great recipe. And I'm bummed that it's probably going to be a bit of a difficult to get through because of all the choppiness. All right, so I've got, since I didn't have green onions, I did slice up a shallot. You could use any other onion, especially the sweet onions, because you don't want the onion to be too overpowering in this. And I chopped up some garlic. I did 1.5 cloves. You can do garlic to taste. And then I'm going to turn back up my heat. And I'm going to add my oil. And as far as the amount for the oil, you know, they put in there 2 tablespoons. So since I'm just having one, I'm probably going to do more. Mine's probably more like 1.5 tablespoons that I put in because I'm not having as much shrimp. So I'm going to let that get going, and I'm going to add my shrimp. Let me just make sure that got nice and hot. It's shimmering, which is what we want. So I have it on a medium-high heat. Get those in, get those sizzling. There we go. You can see those yums. So we're gonna let those just get up a little bit. And meanwhile, I'm going to bring over my broth, my Worcestershire, and my pepper sauce, and my garlic. So my garlic's there, my broth, my Worcestershire, my pepper sauce. Oh, there it is. And how much? 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. Okay. 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. I'm just saying this to myself. And 2 teaspoons of hot pepper sauce. Yes. Nice. Okay, so I'm just going to now toss these a little bit. You can turn them, obviously. You don't have to toss them. If you're not comfortable, I'm going to get my garlic and my, excuse me, watch out, honey. Get my garlic and my onion in there.
I would turn because I would toss the shrimp all over the stove if I tried that.
So yeah, so it's whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, I'm going to toss a little bit more to get them in.
I'm nervous looking at that.
Okay. Oh, okay. That spice coming from the shrimp, it definitely gets you. So now I'm going to put a 1/4 cup of broth in. Let me do that. Chicken broth. You could use really any kind of broth. And I'm putting 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire. Oh my goodness, the pepper. You want to turn on the fan on low, babe? My word. People who are sensitive to spice are going to say, oh, I don't think we're going to do this. You got 1 teaspoon. I can do it. 3 teaspoons. There we go. Here, I got it. Yep, there we go. All right, so those are going. You can see those going. You can see the shrimpies are starting to turn pink. It's delightful. And I think I need to add my tomato, my wine and tomato paste. Okay, so I've got my wine here. I'm just looking at my recipe, 1/4 cup wine and 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I love using tomato paste in a tube. I don't know about you, but I just find it's the best way to do tomato paste. So let me just see. I know, yep, add the wine and tomato paste and stir. So I'm going to add my tomato paste first. 1, 2. It adds a little sweetness, and it definitely adds a little bit of color. So I'm going to get that going first before I add the wine. And then the tomato paste kind of gets a little bit caramelized with the heat, which is lovely. You can see the shrimpies look different that have their skins off than don't. And I'm going to put a 1/4 cup wine in there. Dry white. There we go. Nice. Okay.
When you say wine, that is for whipped, right?
One second. Okay. Yeah, so I'm doing a cheat right now, and I bet you my food family might not like my cheat. So what my husband's talking about is, unless I have a bottle of white open or ready for such the occasion, I use, 1 second. And then the remainder, I'm just looking at my recipe. Yeah, so now I'm gonna put the remainder of my chicken broth in there, and I'm gonna be taking my shrimp out soon because they are almost done, and then I'm gonna reduce the sauce. So I always have dry vermouth available. That's just like my mom always had dry vermouth that she would use in the cooking. And back then you weren't even, I don't think a lot of home cooks were using regular wine in their cooking. And they were using that horrible thing called like cooking wine, which is just a lot of sodium and sugar. So, but what I found is, while yes, I'll always try to be real with you, that if you have a nice bottle of white that's ready to go for this dish, that would be awesome. And in fact, the last time we had this, I had a bottle of white that we not only used in it, but then we shared it.
Yep.
But today we're gonna have beer with this. So, which by the way, I actually think the beer would be delightful in this too. I think you could use beer in this to give it more of a beer taste. My shrimp look done, so I wanna take these out. So I'm gonna take out my shrimp and let the sauce reduce, because I do not wanna overcook my shrimp. So I'm taking all the shrimp out and letting them sit tight in one of the bowls we'll be using actually tonight with dinner. And I want this sauce to reduce and thicken just a little bit. As we know, shrimp do not take a long time to cook. Okay, so those are gonna sit tight. My sauce is going to reduce. Let me just make sure I haven't forgotten anything. Let's see here, so, yep. So I'm going to cook the sauce a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna add my shrimp, and I'm gonna add my, what do you call it, herbs. I'm gonna set aside this mint and basil for another use. And then we are going to try this yummy stuff.
You want to flip the camera back, or are you good?
Not yet, because I want to get the shrimps in there first.
Okay.
But thank you, because I will at the end want to flip back. Okay, so then I'm just going to let this go. You can see, just let it reduce a little bit. I don't want it to be thick like a sauce, but I just want to let some of the liquid reduce it a little bit, intensify the flavors.
That's going to be so good.
Oh, it's going to be very good. I know, I'm very excited. And I don't know, I think it's reduced, I don't know exactly.
It has, yeah.
I don't know what to tell you as far as how much you want it to reduce, but again, you don't want it thick, but it looks good. I'm going to turn the, actually, you know what? I'm actually going to turn the heat down because the shrimp were just in there. I'm going to add the shrimp back. I'm going to toss them here. I can turn this guy off. My eyes and everything are fine now. I'm going to put all this loveliness on them.
What was that, just basil?
It was, yeah, just basil. So I have all this loveliness on them. Oh, and let me switch this now. No, I got it. So let me show you. Yep, that's hot, so I'm gonna use this. So this is what we have. Look at that beautiful, the shrimp, the yummy sauce. What we like to do when we serve it is we like to put it in some sort of bowl. You could use like a smaller bowl and then just refill. What we'll do is we will split these up into these big bowls so there's place for, we don't lose any of the sauce. And then we will dip that yummy bread in there. It'll be scrumptious. So what we're gonna do first, can you get us out a knife and fork, please? Each of us, thank you. Then move this over. Shelby, out. I'm just gonna put this here. You can hold on to everything, but I'm gonna just get one of these.
Okay.
Yeah. Shelby. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick us a shrimp each shrimp that has already been peeled, because we don't wanna have to do that in front of y'all and get all messy. So we're gonna save the mess for later. So we will dish these all up later. And just so we can taste a little bit with the bread. We'll split one of these. So I think I'm gonna try my salad first. So we're gonna both eat from the salad, just to make it easier. So let's try the salad first. We'll try a little blueberry, little feta.
It's very good. The
Super
dressing's
simple,
great.
super simple, fresh. I'll have to do that too. Put it over
The
there.
dressing's
Super simple, fresh. And now I'll take one of those knives and let's try this shrimp. Okay. Woo!
a little spicy, a little
But
hot.
not too spicy. No, it's just perfect. So this is actually good because I want to have you, what would you give the spice meter on this per the recipe?
Six.
Medium?
Yeah,
So maybe slightly above medium?
yeah. I mean, I like spice. I don't think it's. I wouldn't say anything more than 6.
And it goes great with beer. It's delicious with a wine. And if you do a wine, I would say a sweeter wine would be good because they always say sweetness. You can just dip right in there, sweetie. We're gonna be having this later. They say sweetness is good too, like a Riesling. So Rieslings are often recommended for spicy foods. The sauce is where it's at.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Nope. Okay. So, what do you think?
I think it's awesome. I think we should eat.
I think those are good shrimp.
I think these are great shrimp.
Well, for the week coming up, I will tell you that Wednesday I am going to be bringing the cocktails back. I know you'll be away. My schedule shows watermelon drinks, although we're playing with something tonight after dinner that maybe I might switch that up and do watermelon later and do the one I'm going to do tonight. So, so we'll just have to see. So stay tuned. I'll make sure and put the information about it on Twitter. And the next weekend, do you know what I'm making next weekend?
I do not.
Corn pie.
Corn pie?
Yes, corn pie. It's corn pie time with Jersey corn. So any of you that follow me on Twitter have seen the corn pie that I made when we were all at the lake
Corn pie is awesome.
last month. But yes, I'm going to
Good
be.
for you too, because there's no cream or.
Don't listen to him. Corn pie is wonderful, and it's one of our favorite things to have in the summer. So that'll be coming up next weekend. So we're back in town, so we're back to the streaming, and then by the end of this week, I'll be dropping my schedule for that'll be through August into some of September. So be looking for that. So if there's anything that you are hoping to see, please on my pinned tweet, under that, reply and give me some ideas. I know I've got some ideas I definitely want to do, but I'm always, I care about what people are hoping to see. So if there's something that you really want to see, let me know. Because already there was an idea I got from one person I was interacting with that was talking about like a good beef stroganoff recipe, and I have a really good beef stroganoff recipe. Yeah. So that'll be more of a fall winter thing. So, but I'm always open to ideas. So I hope you are staying cool wherever you are, and maybe it's just naturally cool where you are, which would be delightful because we are all really sweltering. But from Philly,
I'm sorry about the choppiness.
I'm sorry about the choppiness. This is a really good recipe, so get the recipe below. If you have any questions, just put something down in the comments or on Twitter, and I'll get right back to you. So stay cool and have a lovely rest of your weekend until we eat again. Enjoy. Happy eating.